Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be completely stripping down this frame ready for painting. We're excited to show you the colours that we've got in mind for this one.
It charges this up. When the little sensor at the top gets hit by that lump on the outside, it triggers it. It sends it to here, which is like it's called a high intensity ignition coil, and it just ups the voltage into your spark boot. So it sends a very high voltage and it arcs between the two like a taser. So that's your spark.
Gotcha. It sounds
and
good.
There's my throttle cable. So that's how I was revving it yesterday.
Well, with this.
So that's how they work. They go into there and they lift a float. They lift the, not float, there's a little slide that goes in there and it blocks the airflow. And you set how high you want it to sit with the idle screw. So it won't go all the way down if you put that in, so it doesn't shut off. And then you just pull that and it comes up, lets more air in, pulls more fuel in, and you go faster.
Oh, wicked.
Yeah.
At this point you might be asking, last time we saw the video, the engine was outside of the bike. Well, that part might need some explaining.
Right, so yesterday we managed to get sparked, but we got some soldering to do. It was just a test run yesterday. So here we have my loom. So there's a CDI kill switch coil in there, and this all fits together because it's all one kit, so it fits together perfectly. The coil or the stator in the magneto is of a different brand, so the connectors are different. So because we don't have a switch either, like a key to power it on as if you were, and this adapter, not this adapter, but this loom has, I think it's this one. So what I did, where's that one? It's that one. So this one accepts a key. So like if you wanted to make your bike more secure, but it's only a pit bike, so I'm not bothering yet. So I had to jump those two together. I just put a brass clip in there yesterday, just to jump them to close the circuit. That's all the key does, to my understanding, is close the circuit. So I shorted those, and then with the big connector that's on the coil, which I'll show you next, is a switch like this, a connector like this, sorry, and the connector we have for the coil looks like this. It's one of these. So they're obviously not going to accept each other. So I jammed the male, it was a thinner one than this, I jammed it in the back to make contact with the corresponding wires. So I will remove, there's my daughter, she wants another snack. I will take this this wire out on the coil, and I'll solder it to the loom so that it's permanent fix. And then at some point I may get a key start, because this bike accepts electric start. Here we go. So the magneto coil, or the stator that we're taking off, is attached to this cover, so we just got to take the cover off. And as you can see, it's a big chunky adapter, and it's a different style. They're a lot longer and thinner, the connectors. So that's where I just jammed the cable in. There's a big gap in the back. So I just jammed the two cables that were needed in there, and then you got ground. And then it worked for the temporary use I needed it for. But I got to take this well, I'll just try to get two of the wires, the blue and white and the red and black, need to come out so I can solder them.
And now you're a bit more caught up. So after Harry did all the plugs, all the wiring, put the engine back together, it was time to put it back on the bike.
So the next step's draining the oil. I've put a little bit of fresh oil in there just to swirl around, and I've turned the engine over a few times and I'm going to dump it just to make sure there's nothing nasty hiding in the case. There's 2 drain bolts. This one you don't need to undo, so that builds up pressure when the engine's running, and that puts tension on the cam chain, so you want to keep the oil in there if you can. And the other drain bolt is right there, so that's the main one. So I'll take that off and we'll see what's in there. Right, it's a 17mm. Let's see what the soil looks like. You should have gloves on for this, but save it, save the bolt. Yes, that's not the best looking oil, so that's mixed with new oil as well. I'll make sure all of that's out, put fresh in, run it a couple of heat cycles, then we'll dump it and put fresh oil in again, just to make sure. So I added a little bit more after that 600mm, and it looks perfect now. Oi. Your brake master cylinder. Jesus Christ.
So, no access to the brake master cylinder.
Not yet.
Whilst the screws are still rusted.
They have seized it there.
After having issues getting into the brake master cylinder, we decided to move on and try and remove the rear subframe for the bike. Alright, next we're taking off the handlebars. That's surprisingly easy. And we can put that on. You only got to do one on each one and it will loosen up both of them. I think we should maintain that actually, that handlebar angle looks good. Yes, low rider. I like it. The sort of like the laid back look.
That's for really short people who have short arms.
Oh, 100%.
The T-Rex stands.
No, definitely not chrome. But these, I reckon they need to be. I reckon they need to be like a satin purple. What do you reckon?
Yeah, match it to the frame. And these could be black. And then they're like a greeny black at the moment.
Yeah, maybe algified or something.
Oh no, there's more.
Oh no. More bolts to undo.
Damn it.
Have you fixed it yet?
Ready to go?
Already now, is it?
So, they will still.
What?
We gotta take the slides out. Don't know if we got weight on it, to be honest, but so I can put them straight back in.
It's part way out. Removing fork.
One fork, singular fork.
A singular fork to get the wheel off. And then we should be golden.
We'll see. I doubt it. Here's my idea. It's not going to work.
I am currently straddling the bike. Second fork off. Wheels off. Bike's on the ground.
So this back wheel don't fall off.
He's off.
We got a bike that moves, look.
Yeah! Look at that suspension go. Oh, look at that. Who needs a bike stand?
Right, before I take it off, Max, if you bring the camera here.
Yes.
So at the moment, this bad boy is in neutral.
Okay.
First gear,
Ah.
Oh. There you go, he's in.
Ah, yeah.
Right. Even when I fully depress the clutch.
Alright, it's stuck.
So, our plan is to get it all put together.
Okay.
Not necessarily all the plastics.
Yeah.
Once it's all spray put together, and then turn the engine on, let the back wheel go in first gear,
Yeah.
and then slam the back brake on. So that
Right.
the engine trying to pull forward, the bike's trying to stop it, it twists the
Right.
clutch apart. You
Okay.
can try that a few times, if not, new clutch.
Yep, that sounds good. Sounds like no explosions are going to happen.
Once it warms up, it might come loose.
Okay.
Once the engine's like full operating temperature,
Alright.
it might. But if not. And obviously, new one of these,
Oh, yeah, the new.
because just sitting on it bottoms it out.
Can you two stop fighting?
He's coming. There you go.
Ah, it's
And that's
big
perfect.
dog attack.
There's your coil.
Oh, perfect.
Magnets go around it. That's the trigger, which is there. So as that passes over, it knows it needs to fire.
Better get this video of the engine coming out of the frame. Oh, he's done it.
It fell on me.
Right, just for clarification, so these parts down here are going off for painting. Vinny's going to pick up the handlebars and the subframe, isn't he? Vinny's going to pick up the handlebars and the subframe for painting. Harry's going to paint the main part of the frame. And we're going to see what happens, where we go from there. Not too sure about the forks yet, are we? So the forks, not too sure if we're going to paint those yet. We'll find out. So yeah, exciting stuff.